Welcome back to the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship 2012. We're in Ezurum, Turkey, in the Ezurum Curling Arena. My name is Sander Olvak, and I'm joined by the lovely Sarah Carlson, sitting next to me.
We are covering the yellow group this evening, Scotland against Denmark. You see them both on top of the board, both teams still undefeated. Elsewhere in this group we see Australia and Romania struggling, while we have a bunch of teams on 2 wins and Sweden and Spain on 1 win. Lineup for Denmark is Oliver Dupont and Mette de Nergaard.
And for Scotland we have Lee McCleary and Judith McFarlane. Scotland, they won the last stone draw, so they choose hammer. And it's Denmark playing the red stones, Scotland the yellow. So Denmark will start off this game, and you'll see Oliver Dupont throwing the first and fifth stone for Denmark. I think Scotland has also chosen to, well, Lee McCleary has chosen to play the first and fifth stone. So we'll see some female action in between there.
Yes, in mixed doubles you can pick and choose the lineup in between the games. One player throws the first and fifth stone, while the other will throw number 2, 3 and 4. If you want to change the lineup in between the ends, you can. As we see that very nice come around freeze by Oliver.
Yeah, very good shot. Certainly starts off Denmark on a good note. And we expect to see some good shots, don't we, Sarah? 2 good teams.
We definitely do. Here is Scottish male player Lee McCleary. Both teams won all games played, and they've been looking very, very strong. Good players, all 4 of them. Good tactics. Expect an exciting game of curling this evening. As we see a nice come around there by Lee.
We've seen Denmark beating Hungary, which is a very good team. And they also beat Sweden. Scotland, on the other hand, has also beaten Sweden, Romania and Italy earlier today.
Scotland had tighter games but came out on top. Denmark is just really not caring about their opponents at all, just winning with a big score. Here is Mette de Nergaard for Denmark. She wants to get another freeze on here. Like to get a little angle freeze on the yellow. This looks to be hanging just a little bit wide.
Yeah, quite wide here. Maybe even a foot heavy.
Yes, I think so. Of course, in mixed doubles curling you have 6 stones rather than 8, and 2 of them, or 1 for each team, are already placed at the beginning of every end. The team with hammer will have 1 stone just behind the button, while the team without hammer will start off the end with a center guard. You see it right there on your screen. Takeouts are allowed with the 4th playing stone of each end, which is the reason why we see a lot of really offensive curling. Judith McFarlane for Scotland.
He thought about picking off the guard, but I'm going to play a draw instead. Seem to have found some line now. Really curling at the end here. That's a pretty good shot there by Judith.
Even though Redstone is shot at the moment, it's a pretty lonely one. instructing Meta you would like to see both of these yellow go away, which they would if she hit them.
So it just needs to squeak by the guard here. Will not. That's a pretty horrible result for Denmark, as Scotland has hammer.
Yeah, especially since Scotland's options with their previous stones was, do you want to take off the guard or come around? Choose to come around, and now Denmark takes the guard off.
Do you want me to come and have a look? Can you catch that one? Might lose the back one though. You can touch that up. Do you want me to come and have a look?
If Scotland make a play on the yellow that you saw on the right hand side there, that will
I don't know.
remove the red shot stone from the button.
Just 10.
Now thinking about moving up the other one to bounce everything back a little bit.
Judith McFarlane, Development Officer for Scottish Curling, making sure that I guess Scottish Curling is going the right way.
I think she's doing a good job, since Scottish Curling seem to pretty much always be right up on the top in all big championships.
Yeah. Silver at the men's. A gold for the World Junior Women's.
Here with her boyfriend Lee McCleary. We have seen a lot of couples here in the mixed double curling. So a little bit more open now for Meta to try and remove the yellows once again.
I think there's a treble on here. Just catch this first yellow a bit high side. And you'll remove the top yellows. Hopefully spin the one back onto the red and then onto the yellow. Just like that. And you'll spill everything. There might be a treble right back for Scotland if they want to play it.
To be honest with you,
More or less nose hit on the first red.
nose is good. Take that one.
Well, you see Lee McCleary indicating here. Need some weight though to remove all three. Could very easily end up with only removing the one. But really want to stick your shooter in front.
Yep.
Really need to sweep this now.
Stay up. Very hard, Jude.
So over curling here by quite a bit. Only removes one red and does roll out herself, so not a perfect result for Scotland.
Well, Denmark sitting two without a hammer.
Those red aren't really lined up for an easy level either. If you want to stick your own yellow, I mean. So Oliver DuPont is going to play the nose hit on the front. And with that, probably going to leave Lee McCleary with a shot to score one. Gets a little roll in front of the reds, just to make it maybe a tad more difficult.
He feels the one. Try and lift
I
two.
don't think if you just catch that off the nose though, isn't that what you're going to do?
What if I catch that one enough?
Sorry?
What if I catch that one? What if I just rub it and leave him?
Okay. Or just draw?
No.
Are they looking at the 4-4-2?
Maybe. Wonder if they're just looking at a double to give away one because he's not too secure of the draw weight. I don't know.
Well, he did
Have to catch
make
it
a
across
really
the-
nice draw. First he drew the button for the hammer and then he made a perfect draw with his first, so you would think that he does have draw weight.
Yeah.
Go like that.
Does seem like they're looking at a treble.
Sure.
Yes.
Go for that.
I think playing the shot can easily give away two. I think I would play the draw here.
I think I would too, but if he makes it for two, then it will be one hell of a shot.
It's a big I told you so from Lee McCleary. Wonder if it's a little bit to do with him not wanting to miss the draw and give away three. Last one for in the first end.
Yep.
Looking for a big shot to score two. Needs a treble. Wants to make the double at least. We'll do that. And it's going to be a steal, a win for Denmark. Could have been worse.
That's still not a bad shot.
Well, had the draw for one. I thought I was maybe a bit soft for a treble. Thought maybe you need a bit more weight to spill them all.
So one in played, and the score is Denmark 1, Scotland 0. And here we see the first stones being placed. Scotland still with hammer will have the yellow stone just behind the button. Meta not really satisfied with where the umpires put it.
So Oliver Dupont placing his first stone on the first end perfectly. Let's see if he can do it again. It's a bit tighter on the guard now. It's going to crash on the guard actually.
Might just have been a little bit soft for weight there.
Yep.
Oh. Tager vi lige sådan en unggarn inde her.
Quite important to get in the house with your first stone when you don't have hammer. Now, Scotland with an opportunity to set two in behind cover straight away.
If you want,
Okay.
it's just it's not that big a port.
All right.
So Lee McCleary for Scotland. Chance to put pressure on Denmark early in the second end. If he can lock this one
Get line.
in a good position.
Yep, it's really good.
Sweeping really hard here. Eyes short and will crash on the guard.
Slow down there, I think.
Closing up the gap though.
There we see President of the World Curling Federation, Kate Caitness.
And some other guy.
Freeze attempt again here by Denmark. And met to the near guard.
10, 4. Den kan ikke få.
Yep, more tight. Yep. You want to
Det er lige sådan en meter, ikke?
Yeah, didn't really help Denmark. A bit wide, but would have liked to keep that stone a bit shorter of the tee line. Slips in deep, and Judith McFarlane can just come on top and lie to it. So probably made things more complicated for Denmark, throwing that stone behind the tee line. Judith is going to pull up a bit short of the forfeit, but as we always say, you're usually a bit better off short than long in this game.
Yeah, you want to leave yourself with stones that you can use, and also stones that gives your opposition a little bit of trouble.
Now Mette Denegar is trying a really difficult shot through that very small gap. So working hard for a line here. I do think it's going to over curl. And it's going to leave a stone in front there.
Nej,
Kun tabe det længere ind på midten, ikke?
jeg kan så sagtens tabe det.
So it's Scotland looking for the tap up or the straight draw around.
I would think the tap up would probably leave them in a better position.
Yeah, certainly looks a bit difficult though. Got to be close to the guard. If you want to hit this yellow dead on. And she will just squeak by the guard.
Perfect line on this one.
Really nice shot by Judith.
Well played. Great shot. Ellers kommer vi ikke derind, tror jeg.
Oliver looking at the run back. Trying to hit their own red guard and run that back onto the O's. Big extension from Mette.
Sådan derovre. Okay.
Maybe just a bit too big. Oh.
Okay.
That's quite unlucky. Oliver thought he was going to rip the top yellow and was happy with that. She gets through the hole and removes her own stone.
If you were aiming for that, Sander, it wasn't an easy shot to make.
You know.
Really unlucky there for Denmark.
Okay.
So now Scotland line 3 all of a sudden.
And if they guard it now, it will be a yellow guard that won't be as beneficial for Denmark to run back.
No. Might just have to though. If Judith puts this in the perfect spot.
Who is it?
So far, just leaving it, leaving it alone.
Let's just say English isn't the first language of either you or me, so I think we're allowed a little stumble.
Nice stone, Jude. Nice stone. Good shot.
Good shot there by Judith. Scotland now sitting 4.
Yep, probably a bit too deep. That's going to make it a bit easier for Oliver DuPont to remove some yellows.
Det er fint nok at bare lave dobblen heroppe i toppen, fordi så tager de 3, så er vi nede med 2.
Ja, præcis.
Okay, even the top yellow double here be an acceptable result. But he would like to leave his shooter hanging around in a usable position.
Let's see what Oliver can produce. I think he's going to be a bit high, and he's going to spill all of it. It's not too bad there. does open up the forfeit.
So now Scotland with a draw for 3. After that very unlucky run back by Meta. But the house also set up by a really nice tap from Judith.
Yep.
So not only luck.
So a couple of good shots from Scotland, and now you have the draw for 3. Last stone of the second end for Lee McCleary.
Just for weight. Where is it? Need help?
Just needs to find the paint for a score of 3. And he will do that, no problem. See Judith's mum and dad up there. Judith's dad, a farmer and a football fan.
So after 2 ends, Scotland leading 3 shots to 1. You'll just see this little break in between ends for the umpires to pre-position the stones and put up the scores on the scoreboard. Meta having a look at the stones. Haven't really seen that too much from the other players.
No.
They seem to be trusting the umpires more than Meta is.
Oh, but you could never be too sure.
No, if no one's checking the umpire's job, they might get a bit sloppy. Who knows?
You never know. So now we will see Denmark with hammer, which means that Scotland is throwing first stones, and here is Lee McCleary with an attempt at the freeze. Good line, comes up a little bit short, but not too bad. It's in the house.
Still okay. Better there on the top of the 12 foot, rather the back of the 12 foot.
True.
Oliver DuPont made a very good draw on the first end. Came up a bit short on the second. Where is he going to place this one? Need a little bit of curl here.
Oh, and this looks good.
Yep. Right there on the lid.
Yeah, a very young Danish team. Oliver DuPont 22 and Mette 20, but still not inexperienced. We've seen Oliver in a whole bunch of World Juniors curling with Rasmus Stjerne. And Mette has been alternate at a couple of World Juniors as well.
Did Oliver win gold in Vancouver?
Yes, in 2009.
Whoa, right off.
Place. We said he played second. Also the brother of Madeline and Denise DuPont.
The famous curling sisters in Denmark.
Yeah, I would say. So a nice attempt there by Judith McFarlane. Doesn't quite get the angle that she would have hoped for. There is an opportunity for Denmark to actually get to the inside of this yellow stone with just backline weight. Here again is Mette in their guard.
Jeg kommer til at give den. Den er ikke så hurtig.
Helt op.
Rundt til sidst. 4.
Helt op. Wow.
4. 4.
Skal jeg komme til sidst?
So that's not really what Mette was looking for. Looking to come to the inside of that yellow.
Scotland now sitting short stone, I believe.
Okay.
Away. Normal.
Okay.
So Scotland's going to play the hit here. Try and remove the red. Make a little roll in behind the guard.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Quick.
So Judith over curl on her last takeout attempt, and she will do that again. So maybe not giving her enough ice, or just being a bit tight on release.
That's fine. All right. Give it a swing there. Jeg har ikke andet lige nu.
Jeg tror, jeg skal have samme is, og så sætter jeg den ordentligt.
Samme fart.
Hæ?
Samme fart.
Ja.
Just good communication there between the Danish players. Meta feeling that she kind of flicked out her previous draw, so just wanting the same ice, so now she's going to release it a bit more properly.
So important to be aware of what you do to your stones, and also important to tell your teammates. So Oliver will now be better prepared for calling line on this shot.
Wow. Vente. Vent. Så. Hjem.
10,
Hjem.
4,
Kom så hjem.
4.
Kom så retning hjem.
So closer to the guard, obviously.
Hjem, hjem, hjem. Sidste hjem.
Oliver
Hjem.
really shouting at the line, and she's actually going to catch the guard.
Det der, vi strikker sammen med tålmodighed.
The McCleary looking at the guard.
Just there.
Okay.
I think that's a good call.
I would agree.
You don't really see too many options for Denmark to remove that yellow just of now, if they put up that guard.
Open up. Skal swing.
Knowing the way that things are lined up in the
Line's
house, I
fine.
don't think they would be
Line's
too
good.
keen to
Line's good.
run down a
Well,
yellow.
Swing a bit. Where? Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Nice shot. Good.
So pretty good there by Judith.
3.
Skal du fjerne de to nu?
Ja. Selvfølgelig. Okay, hvis vi fjerner dem der, så ligger han en til her. Så har vi kun den der.
Ja, så må du på den.
So only 2 shots to go for
Er
Denmark.
det ikke bedre, fordi så har vi chancen for, at han køler over på sin...
Want to make good use of those reds at the back of the forfeit.
Hvis vi bare stiller den til pas over, så ikke den...
Jo, så ligger vi bare herinde. Så har vi den ikke mere. Bare spil den hårdt. Vi skal nok...
Spiller den bare så hårdt som muligt, ikke?
Ja, så bare 8. Det er fint.
Ja. Men selvfølgelig, hvis vi kommer til at fjerne den der, vi
So
kommer til at ligge selv her.
Så må vi finde på noget andet.
might see some heat from Mette Denegar.
Ja.
Told
Så
Oliver
jeg skal
to
grave nu, ikke? Men
that she was going to just hit this as hard as she possibly can.
Do you think that's necessary? I think maybe if just maybe a nose hit to sit there in front of herself, the stone that she can use with her next to spill both of these yellow.
I don't know. We might see Scotland just putting the guard up then.
Yeah, that
So I'm not sure what the plan is. I think they're looking to just blast the yellows and try to roll to the right, maybe slide off that corner guard. But she's really whipped this one,
Rammer den i huset.
and she's not gonna hit anything but air.
I think that might be the risk when someone says I'm going to throw this as hard as I possibly can. There's always a little risk that you lose control.
Yeah, certainly it should. You could play it hard, but you shouldn't play it harder than you have control over. So Scotland just looking at what Denmark has, and it's not really too much.
Think about that.
So I think they're playing another guard.
Sorry? Guard this side.
It's not really a lot that Denmark can do with either of these
I don't mind
sides.
you covering the inside of that as well.
Thinking that maybe Oliver can find the button on the intern side, so deciding to block that off.
And also that in off the yellow on the T line, maybe. Not sure if there is a shot off that though. So Lee McCleary just putting the guard up anywhere between the house and the hog line, really.
Over and up.
The line is more important.
2.
So maybe over curling slightly.
It's fine.
1.
I think Denmark is going to take a look at that red stone there. Maybe just slice the top of it.
Den skal bare ned og fat i den.
There's no real risk with this one, so
Hvad skyder du?
might as well go for it.
I think they can score one. I think it's going to be very difficult to score two. Yellow most likely is going to catch on to the one red, but then hopefully the yellow will spill and one of the reds will remain in the forfeit to score one. So a huge bullet here from Oliver DuPont. Last stone of the third. Seems to be close with it. Oh,
Fandme synd, Ollie.
really close there.
One yellow.
And with that weight, I just wondered if it was possible to score two. Would have liked to see him tick that yellow stone.
If it ticked it, do you think he maybe could have gotten the other yellow as well?
Sygt tæt på.
It would have been amazing to see a score of 3. But it's a steal of 1 for Scotland, and the score after 3 ends will be Scotland 4, Denmark 1. Elsewhere, in the Ezurum curling arena, Hungary-Romania, score is 3-0 in favour of Hungary. Spain stole a huge 5 in the second end against Korea, and after 2 ends they're leading the game 8-0. USA leading Japan 5 shots to 1, and Italy are leading Australia 3 shots to 0.
So Spain picked up a steal of 5. Is it possible to steal 6 almost, as your one stone is placed as a guard?
I don't think so.
It's
That
gotta
would
be
mean
pretty
that-
hard.
Yeah, so absolute massive steal there for Spain.
It's pretty good.
As Lee McCleary gets us started with the 4th end. Again with a really nice come around.
Yeah, really good there. Deserves a high five from Judith.
Giv mig lige lidt mere.
And Oliver is also
Hvis det går i gang.
going to come around, this time on the out turn. Seems to be what he prefers.
Ligger lidt bredt.
It's always good to play to your strengths when you have the option.
4.
I think it's also easier to get a better angle come this way, but not with that weight. He's gonna slide to the back, take his own red, create a nice pocket for Scotland. I'd like to see Scotland just come on top of their own now. And that's what's called for by McCleary.
Just a wee bit more, I think.
don't want to sit there.
Okay.
Better sitting there. You wee bit. Just wait, Jude. Just wait. Just wait. Loads of room. Loads of room. Needs to go right to there.
So this one needs to curl.
Yep. Yep.
And we're going to bring it back, realising that they wouldn't get the line
That's all right.
they wanted. And they sit side by side, those yellows. Not the worst.
Actually, it's a nice weight. It's just you could afford it to swing off.
Denmark now coming round the intern side.
Again.
It's a little bit of the same setup as in the last end, where Denmark had 2 stones in the back of the 4. It's really hard to bring them into play and score with them. You really need stones in front. And Meta just managing to sweep this one by the guard and sits on top of one of the O's. So not too bad there.
I'd say that's a good result and a nice draw.
Are we lying?
Yeah.
If you have any questions about mixed doubles curling or anything else that might be of interest, feel free to post them on our Facebook site at the World Curling Federation, or use Twitter, hashtag WMDCC2012. Sander, very wise. And also a big smile on his face right now. He will give you all the answers.
Over and up. Over and up, Jude. Right off. Okay. So the yellow's going to the red anyway. Should.
Den er jo kun...
Go back
Nå,
to
ja,
the
den er
red.
10 den der.
Ja.
Men den skal være 8 bag.
Ja. Hvis den hænger, så må vi gå ned og puffe den der.
Ja.
So turning out to be an interesting end. I think the call is to come on top of your own red, and they were looking at the option that if they don't get the curl, they could also just tap back the yellow.
Even if they get a little tap on the red, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
A lot of rotation on the stones here, Meta. So probably will get a bit less curl than the other players. Just waiting for this one to curl.
Er det fint? Det er okay.
Not too bad. Scotland still lying shot though. You have 3 Danish stones in behind the T-line. Will probably create some problems for them,
Last one.
because if Denmark
Yeah, we're
wants to play a run back maybe to remove that shot, chances is that yellow will stick onto one of the reds.
You do that if you want.
Yeah, Scotland now discussing
Scarlet.
either guarding or taking some
They can't
reds
use the
off, since they don't have hammer here in the 4th end. But the guard is the call. They do have
Can they use the
a
red?
pretty nice shot stone covering
they use
the
red?
pinhole.
What?
Can they use the red? Can they use the red?
What?
So
Can they use the red?
Lee having a bit of problems of
No.
hearing Judith.
Because that will go there. That will go there. Can't use it. No. Okay. Fair enough.
So all that time for nothing.
Just for the answer, no. Still good though that, you know, Judith's coming down and they're having the discussion, and also good to know how the house looks when you're playing.
Yep. And if Denmark could have used that stone, that would be nice by Judith to notice. You know, sometimes Lee might not see everything.
I think he sees everything.
Always need a pair of women's eyes.
Well, that is a good point.
So putting up the guard. We have seen Scotland be a bit cautious with leaving too many opposition stones around in the house.
Well, this one picked up though.
And it's going to curl the other way.
Sorry. It's okay.
But I think that's okay.
Sorry.
Lee apologising for that, because they were quite lucky to get that pick and curl back, but
Sorry, I just wasn't sure how level that red was.
I couldn't hear you.
Does leave a gap though.
Ja.
yeah.
Sådan ikke, fordi ellers så kan den ikke nå at falde gennem hullet.
Ja.
Hak.
Ja, hakfart.
So only going to throw a hack at this. So with hack weight, I would say that gap is kind of tight.
It's a little bit tight, but you would get a really nice result in the house, as you could probably come and squeeze that yellow through the gap of the reds and leave yourself in a nice position. Maybe if you even curl up to nose the yellow, it's not the end of the world if it catches the red in the back forefoot.
So a very difficult shot to make without two sweepers.
Ingenting.
I think Meta just flicked this one a bit, and
Maybe a little
really
bit.
needs to curl the end, and I think it has. And it's gone through the gap, and it's going to punch that yellow through, and now we see 5 Danish stones in there, with one lonely yellow. Very nice shot by Meta.
Denmark sitting 1 at the moment.
No, it's not hard to squeeze that yellow out. Not easy, I mean.
I was just going to say what?
Yeah, not easy to move that yellow.
But for Scotland is looking at the draw here now. How are they going to get there?
Yeah, that looks even more difficult. Getting through that gap with draw weight.
Could they play the outturn and play a takeout on 2 reds, the one that Meta just rolled there, maybe with similar weight, and roll back in?
I was just thinking that, but
God, that side. That's a tough draw in there, like.
wonder if that might set up something for Denmark to score multiple. I don't know. I think that's the thing you got to worry about, not leaving any type of double for 3, 4, or 5 here.
No, losing 1 or even losing 2 is not the end of the world for Scotland. They are 3 shots up at the moment.
Denmark is lying 1. Lee is looking at that shot you just mentioned.
I think we need to lower our voices so that he can't hear us.
But I don't know. And if you just guard, it's going to be hard for Denmark to score 2. But they're going to play this, which I think is it's a little bit risky. You might set up something for Denmark. They have a couple of guards that can run back if they get the perfect angles, although they will be running back a Scottish stone.
True, but this way we get a little bit more action in the game.
Yeah, hopefully. Don't want to be ripping the guard for sure. Never close of ripping the guard. And it's just going to wiggle things around a bit. Well,
It's alright.
I know, it's me.
I think what Meta just showed is probably the best way for Denmark to score 2. Come down the same line as Lee.
Jeg kan se under halvdelen.
Bounce in off of their own red.
Nej, det kan vi ikke.
I think Lee missed that shot the right way. If he had got the guard, it could be a double off their own, Denmark, for maybe 4. So has left things okay for Scotland. Oliver does have to play a difficult shot to score 2. Get through the gap and make that little roll. Last stone of the 4th.
Oh, this is wide. Really needs to curl.
Yeah, it's on the guard all day. And
One red.
I think he was a little bit worried there about tapping that in for Scotland instead. Oh, they were fine. So after 4 ends, score is Scotland 4, Denmark 2. That's half of the game played, so the players will have a short break, and so will we. See you in a couple of minutes.
Jeg kan skyde automat.
Welcome back to the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship in 2012. This is coming to you live from Ezurum Curling Arena in Turkey. Our feature game this evening is between Denmark and Scotland, where the score is 4-2 in favour of Scotland.
Yep.
You're listening to commentators Sarah Carlson and the fantastic Sander Olvåg. And here we see Oliver DuPont
Sidder godt.
for Denmark,
Så lidt
playing the
hurtigt ud.
freeze.
Ja, farten er fin.
Vente,
Farten er fin.
vente. Og lige vent. Wow.
And of course, this coverage is being brought to you by the World Curling Federation in association with Sweden's live channel. So perfect weight there from Oliver. Over curls just a fraction, but still in a very nice position for Denmark. Scotland looking just to freeze again. Would like to get a little angle on to this redstone just played by Oliver. And here is Lee McCleary for Scotland.
Highlight.
Looks like he's got good line, but a little bit hot on the weight.
Sorry.
Taps his own yellow
Too bad.
back a couple of feet.
De kan ikke få vores ude lige nu.
Now another freeze opportunity here for Denmark, which would leave them sitting very nicely. And female player for Denmark is Mette Denergaard.
I'm pretty sure I saw her playing the European Youth Olympic Festival in 2009.
God retning nu.
If I remember correctly, she lost the final.
Top 4. Perfekt retning. Top 4. Fryset. Yep. Yep.
She got bronze, actually.
Helt ned på. Perfekt. Op.
Yes,
Probably.
certainly a young and talented Danish team.
It's probably the semi-final I saw. She losing.
For Scotland, here's the Judith McFarlane.
Yep.
I know.
Yes. Yes.
And she would have wanted Lee to be a little bit quicker with the sweeping there, as she manages to spill both yellows, leaving 3 Danish stones
Kender du
in
den
the
der situation,
house.
forstår I normalt lige, hvad man skal gøre?
Man vil gerne lægge 3 sten.
And still with a yellow center guard.
Så ligger den der, og så kan han ikke.
Så kan de skyde den der, ikke?
Jo.
Eller
så får
den
de
på
to væk.
toppen. Så får de 2 væk, så ligger vi garden.
Samme fart.
Eventuelt så må den ligge op i 12 og gardere deres
Also
check-out.
notice
Yeah,
all
so how
3
did they
Danish stones are in front of the tee line, so if Mette can lock another one on there, I would say Scotland in a little bit of trouble here in the 5th end.
Jeg tror også, det begrænser, hvor hurtigt hun skyder.
Ja. Bare top 4, sådan fint der. Altså, det kan godt tåle at bombe lidt til det, det gør ikke noget.
Okay.
God retning.
Jeg tror, farten er cirka det samme.
Vente retning.
8.
Yep, så kom. Yep. Yep, retning.
Gets it into to the rings, top 8 foot. Really not a bad position there for Denmark.
So Lee's called a run back on the yellow, trying to move the centre guard away and also get the bonus of removing a red or two. Perfect shot here would be to roll away with your shooter stone and maybe stick the yellow in the house. Looking very close.
Hard! Go.
So it does remove one red, sticks yellow in the house, but couldn't really move the guard off too much.
Men det gør han jo alligevel, hvis jeg ruller derind.
Ja, så
Så
er han
spiller
godt.
han triplen.
Ja. Og heller der.
Certainly does help though.
Lige på kan det være, han lige nu.
So very good attempt. Should have maybe swept it a little bit.
Og så lad os spille den der. Ja.
Yeah, the guard now a little bit off the centre line,
Ja, det er fint.
but so are the two Danish stones in the house. So Meta here with it. Take out again to sit for.
Vi kan også lægge garden og stjæle 2.
Jamen, lige nu ligger han. Altså, vi ligger 1, 2.
Ja, men hvad hvis vi lægger garden, så skyder han. Så skal
Han har jo den der.
Tør han det?
Det tror jeg. Det er ikke sikkert. Vi kan også godt prøve en gang, og så se, hvad der sker.
Jeg tænker bare, at de har 2 sten tilbage. Hvis vi lægger garden,
Ja,
og de misser dobbelt,
så går vi. Ja,
så er de bare...
ja. Så bare lige til venstre for centerlejen.
Fordi, og hvis de clear den næste her, så kan vi bare lave taken, så skal de spille mod 4.
Ja. To. På linje med dem.
Ja.
So wanting this guard just
Meget plads. Wow.
right by the yellow guard.
Yep. Wow, hvis du kan. Indtil, wow, hvis du kan. Indtil centerline. Wow.
Oh, it's going to slide a bit further than that.
Okay.
Okay, jeg bliver 3.
Ja.
It's not too bad. I think if Scotland plays a double here, they might jam onto the yellow. But with the situation, they're basically just looking to open a forfeit so they can score the one. Looking a bit high on line so far. Judith might just jam those
That's okay, Jude.
red.
It's fine.
Might be sitting second shot still though.
Der, så ruller vi derind. Så ruller den med, ikke?
Så sætter den sig her,
Ja.
og så ligger vi her.
Ja.
Hvad gør han så?
Så skal han ud og spille noget godt. Ja.
Eventuelt lige på, ikke? Så kommer den til at ligge
Lige
her.
på er fint. Han skal stadig spille et svært skud.
So Denmark here with take out on their own red to
Jeg tror,
remove the
10-10
yellow.
fordi ellers den skal ikke rulle for meget.
Yeah, got a good chance to lie 4. And he's looking to roll towards the guard and maybe make that stone he makes contact with also roll off the yellow towards the center line. Line everything up, make it difficult for Lee McCleary to score.
Yeah, lots of good options here for Denmark. Basically everything but hitting this high is good for them. So the word whoa is not something that you want to hear, but
Nej.
Just needs to hit it
Kun lige på.
close to nose. That's not the best for him there. Wanted to be inside. They do lie 3. But I do think Lee McCleary has a chance to just come on down and tap the shot stone.
Altså, den er også bare lang.
Couldn't close off the gap there, Denmark.
so you can even see probably about half of this.
It's
The
easier
guard
shot,
is
isn't
very
it?
high. Ice is
Bit there.
very swingy.
Yeah, just hack weight.
Okay.
Bit there. Even.
There shouldn't be too many problems, but we've seen players struggle a bit with these type of hack shots, as you don't have those sweepers to hold the line for you. So if your stone starts to curl, there's no turning back, unless you're really quick on your feet.
Can you see nearly all of it?
See about 2/3.
Okay.
That's fine. I'll get up.
So last stone of the fifth end. Lee McCleary for Scotland with backline weight
Flame's really
Get that
high.
one then.
to try and score one.
Stay the front one.
Come on, back.
Needs this to
Yep.
curl.
Whoa.
Oh, that's the worst that could have happened there.
It's a steal of 3 for Denmark in the fifth end.
It was really heavy,
Doesn't matter.
and Denmark is in the lead now, 5 shots to 4 after 5 ends. So maybe just a bit of slow communication there between Judith and Lee. Could have maybe steered off the top stone. Just a too late with that call.
So I'd say we're definitely in for a tight and exciting game here now, as Denmark is 1 point up. Scotland with hammer though in the sixth end, and Mette de Nergard again correcting the umpire's work and making sure that first stone is in perfect position.
God plads.
Oliver Dupont
Skal nok komme. Bare tag
has a
den
very
frem.
nice slide.
Fin fart.
Good technique.
Ja, ja.
Seems to be very straight and has a very good positive release.
Den der. Rigtig god retning. Godt fart.
That's probably why his first stones end up in good spots, just like this one will. Just over curling a little bit.
The weight's absolutely perfect there from
Lav den køler, den der.
Oliver. So really important now that Lee McCleary manages to follow. It's a little bit heavy in the last end.
Yeah, and missed that last shot to give up a steal 3.
It's not bad. It's pretty good. Oh, it's me on.
So he needs to recover from that, make a good one. Is he just a tiny bit heavy here?
It's fine.
He's going to chip off. Well, gives Denmark that chance to play a little tap.
Ja, vil du gerne
Set on top of the oars.
Ja. 4 bag.
Ja, 4 bag.
Den er 2/3 åben.
Ja, men vi må bare ikke skyde hårdt endnu, så...
Nej, jeg ved godt.
Perfekt retning. Perfekt retning.
God fart.
Klar.
10.
Klar. Yep.
4.
Yep.
Lavet.
Yep.
Den er langsom, mand.
So maybe just a bit short of weight. And it's just going to stop at the top of the 12th foot.
So now can
That
Scotland
double's on like, but
come down and find
bit
the
up
button
there now,
from
yeah.
the intern side, perhaps?
should be enough there.
To even set 3.
Yep. Your hand. Oh, Agent. Yeah. Right up.
This one coming up short also,
Right up. Right up. Right up. Okay.
even short of the rings there for Judith McFarlane.
I think that allows the same shot for Denmark.
Ja, vi kan. Ja, det ved jeg ikke. Kom her. Vi bliver jo ikke i huset, vel?
Det kan vi godt. 10,5 tror jeg er god.
No, they're going to play double, I think.
Yeah, just quite soft weight, but still make a move on the yellows.
I wouldn't mind
God retning.
playing the tap. Certainly easier.
10,
Wow, 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 wow. Wow,
10.
wow, wow, wow. Klar. Ah, wow, wow, wow. Wow.
Yep.
It's pretty hard to remove both.
Still not with a bad result for Denmark there.
You have to go there, Jude.
Okay.
You have to touch it back to there.
So this tap back definitely possible for Scotland.
Unless you want to do that instead.
Your call.
They might grab that side coming there. Do
It's
that.
pretty good to just get the freeze, or maybe a little bump, set 1 or 2 in behind cover.
Close. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Just at the 7-8.
Whoa. Whoa.
Maybe overcompensated a little bit from her previous shot, as this seemed to have
Okay, that's fine.
not that much weight, but coming in a little bit wide.
Okay.
Just bounces off the red one a little bit. Denmark still sitting short.
Ja, sådan imellem.
Ja.
Men bare på indersiden, så kør den forbi.
Der er ikke meget luft, Olli.
Nej, det skal også bare være T-line, hvis det er. Altså, fryset er fint. Vi ligger.
Ja,
Så bare fryse på indersiden.
okay.
So Oliver DuPont telling Meta that as long as we get to the inside of this, we are lying good.
God retning. Klar. Yep.
8,
Yep. Yep.
12,
Yep.
12,
Yep.
12,
Yep.
8,
Yep. Så yep, vi skal have garden. Yep.
8.
Yep. Yep. Wow. Der var
So it's going to over curl it quite a bit.
Okay.
But it does
Der er hul.
Ja, det er der.
Det var min sidste.
maybe block off the path to the shot stone.
Selvom han kun spiller drag, har vi også.
Vi har dobbelt.
Nu har vi dobbelt.
Yeah, one just off of it. Like almost just the draw. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Go that way.
yeah.
In the hack. Yeah, just that way, Jude.
Okay.
Scotland now making a play on that red. Or do they want to come through the gap?
Close. Close.
I think they're looking to get through the gap.
It looks like they are.
Maybe directly onto the shot stone.
Hard. Ollie, Jude. Hard. Yeah.
That really was a tight gap.
That's fine. Good.
She will find the guard. Spills into the rings. Denmark still sitting
It's okay though.
short. But Scotland is 2, 3 and
Ja, alternativ
Fourth.
dobbelt, ikke?
Men Olli, hvis du klikker en guard åben, så fjerner han den der til 4.
Yeah, got to be careful. Only one shot to
Den
go
der er lige så nem
for
som
both
den der.
teams.
Altså, den her er lige så nem som at komme ind med den der, tror jeg.
Scotland now, they would have the gap again, or maybe
Ja.
Så skyder han den der væk og tager
tap back on their own yellow top 12
Hvad vil
foot.
du
So
helst? Altså,
Vi kan ikke spille.
Denmark
vi kan
needs to
spille
find
langsomt
something
frem
smart.
mod, fordi den falder alt for meget.
jo, så skal vi bare spille draget. Men der kan det lige så godt gå galt, jo, ikke? Den køler bare så meget.
Ja. Der er også.
Altså, jeg tænker bare hellere skyde den hårdt.
Ja, men vi kan ikke lægge garden, vel, fordi så smadrer han den der.
Ja, præcis. Jeg vil hellere bare skyde den hårdt, altså 8 eller sådan noget. Og så tage dobbelt. Så får han max, altså så får han jo kun 1. Eller så får han max 2, ikke?
Og skyde dobblen.
Ja. Gør lige ned og kigger.
So I think Oliver DuPont is a bit afraid of leaving too many stones in the house for Scotland. bit afraid of what Lee McCleary can whip up.
Hvor meget kan du se den
So
her?
looking at the double.
90.
Spørgsmålet er, hvis vi spiller den her,
Ja.
så skal han spille ned
men
gennem
så-
hullet.
Ja, så får han 2 sådan, ikke?
Spil den der.
Jeg mistede den.
Hvor vil du ramme her?
Ja.
I think he's got to come fairly tight to the guard if he wants to stick the red onto that second yellow.
Der.
Ja, men pas på den der røde. Altså
He could
heller
probably
bare
play it,
skyde den.
I think
you know, with a bit more control weight to get that little finish at the end. But he's going to play it fairly hard. Might just roll over the top of the second, or maybe he's even caught the guard. Oh, disastrous for Denmark.
yeah, this is leaving Scotland with the opportunity of a really big end. It's not what you want to see after stealing a 3,
No, it
maybe
won't.
given 4 back.
Just nose.
Yeah. Or just high side. High side, get a 3.
Okay.
Scotland need to catch this yellow on the right side as you saw it there.
I'll come
Push
up.
it back onto the red and push the red one
No, I will.
out. Stick their shooter and that would give them 4 points.
3, I believe, with the weight they are playing. That's what Lee McCleary said anyway. Just at a high side for 3.
Let's say high side for 3 it is then.
Just playing the simpler shot for him. Last zone of the 6th.
Yep.
Looking close. And he's going to roll too far with the shooter, and that stone he made contact with will also roll out. They scored 2 though.
It's quite tricky to get a 3 because you couldn't. You had to really just miss that, I suppose. You could have played the other hand, but just no.
So after 6 ends, you'll see Scotland leading the game 6 shots to 5 over Denmark. So this is turning out to be a very good game, just like we expected.
Yes, we did expect that. And I'm happy to see that we were right.
For once.
For once, yes.
We've seen a couple of landslide wins. We've also had a couple of really tight matches. Certainly good for the neutral fan to see a tight score. I think the umpires are being very careful where they place the stones now, as Meta is going to extra check them anyway.
So, Denmark with hammer in the 7th. Lee McCleary playing the first draw.
It's a line. It's a line. High.
Okay, you're pretty
High
good.
line.
Sure.
This looks like it's going to be a good one.
Come on, right in, right in.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Ja.
Bare spil 10.
Ja, præcis. Lige lidt mere. Ja.
Vente.
Fin fart.
Vente.
Fin fart.
Vente.
Fin fart.
Wow.
Fin
Wow,
fart.
vente.
Fin fart.
Vente. Den er ikke på endnu.
God fart.
Vente.
God fart. God fart.
Tager du den der? Godt spillet, Ollie.
Probably just a little bit too much weight on that one. Bounce off a little bit and also push the back red stone back to the back at 8 foot. Scotland now to make another corner freeze on the red.
Yep, help.
Oh.
Help.
What can? Bring up. Bring up. Bring up. Bring up.
Okay, that's right. That's good.
He will drag it to the top 8 foot. Sits in a nice line though for Scotland.
Good at gardere.
Still,
They
they
got
would
it
maybe
easier.
have liked to have it a little bit more
Prøv at fjerne garden.
to
Så
the
det er
right.
ikke-
Do you think, Sander, to block the shot that Denmark is discussing right now?
Jeg tror ikke, vi får noget ud af at ligge garden,
Well,
fordi så ligger de garden, og vi har 2 sten, vi
Seem
skal
to be
ned
thinking
til.
about
Ja, præcis.
taking off the guard instead.
Og så skal vi bare spille den der. Så har vi nogle sten,
See how much problems it creates for Denmark, just
det er dyrt, ikke?
having that stone on the top of the house rather than at the back, which I think we see too often. So hard to score more, score a multiple point end if your opposition has stones and along the center line,
Vi skal måske
in front of the
bare
T line.
Ja,
It's really closing down the scoring area for them.
Nej, det er okay, hvis vi stopper her.
ja.
Og så bare herud.
Jeg har faktisk kun et hjørne.
Ja.
So Denmark now choosing to actually split this. Tap the yellow one in behind the T-line. Rolling
Yeah.
away a little bit.
Overretning.
Just a way of opening things up, but still keeping
Ja.
your red around the house.
Wow, 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 wow.
Always have a chance of scoring a big end in mixed doubles. Very nice shot by Meta.
And even hangs around with her shooter.
Det gælder bare om for os.
I think it's a good tactic by Denmark because, as we've seen, Scotland doesn't really like to have too many opposition stones in the house. Usually they'll tend to hit when there's too many.
Yep.
You will see them play a takeout on the red. Very nice shot by Judith. But does it just squeak out the other side of the guard?
That's all right.
Yes, it did.
Ja, det skal bare være 10,5. Ikke for hurtigt.
10,5.
Ja, 10,5 det er rigeligt.
So a double takeout being called, but quite a soft weight double takeout in order to get the right line and also maybe hoping to stick their shooter.
They don't want Meta to be throwing all she got at this one.
Overretning. Yep. Yes. Yes.
If she sticks around with this, that would be them sitting 3 with
Kom
hammer.
igen. Yes. Yes.
Is tight though.
Yes.
She will get the guard. So sigh of relief for Scotland. So they could have been in a lot of trouble there.
I don't really like that.
Tap that back.
Yeah, I
Sit
don't
there.
like that.
Okay.
Still Denmark has a couple of stones in the house. Right now you see the yellow as line up for a double, so
10, 9.
Judith looking to tap the yellow back onto the red. Change up the angles a bit.
Run, run. Wrong way to go. Where? It's swinging too much, Will. Leave it. Oh.
So hasn't
That's
gonna
very good.
curl enough there. And
With so much ice. Nice
She's
way.
left a double, I think.
Hvor vil du ramme?
Du skal nok ramme her. Meget tyndt her. Men altså, det er bare lige præcis midt i.
Ja. Jeg skal bare lige se, hvordan det ligger.
De ligger helt på linjen næsten.
Meta comes up to just take a look. Important shot, so just wants to know exactly where to hit this one. That's just going to be
Eventuelt til at lave
as thin as possible on the
Altså, så må han skyde på
Så skal
det.
han til at skyde, og så...
yellow at the top left.
Lige midten med 8.
Ja, altså, her er is, ikke? Ikke her. Fordi så rammer du den der.
Ja.
Helst den hånd.
Ja.
Ja.
So again, some big weight here from Met and Airguard.
Yep.
No problem, spills both the yellow and sits in top of the forefoot.
Hvis han skal have dobbelt, hvor stor chance er
Nice shot.
I think so. Just normal at that.
Yeah, make sure you need to catch it.
Do you want me to stay then, or do you
No, can you run up and I'll have a look?
want me to run up?
Actually, no, I'll run up.
Lee McCleary now needs to make a double and
Maybe
stick
back
this
Yeah.
in
please.
order
Yeah.
to force
that
Denmark
right
to
ice?
1.
Was it just about half stone, is it?
Or 2 at the most.
Half stone.
Half stone good?
Half stone's good, I think.
I think if he plays a double here, he will rule out himself unless he does catch the side one.
Is that okay?
Wee fraction more then.
Maybe a treble on. Tough shot. Looking a bit too thin at the moment. Very close to making a double.
It just catches the top one, and Denmark now with an open nose hit for 3, which would give them a 2-point lead coming home in the 8th end.
Ollie,
Ja.
skal jeg fejle?
Ja, det må du godt.
Ja, det gør jeg.
That was just Meta asking if she should come up and sweep, so Oliver can just focus on throwing this stone correctly.
Wow,
The last one of the 7th.
wow, god retning.
Very good chance to score 3 for Denmark.
Nej, det er for sjovt. Det er fint. Wow.
Looks pretty good on its own here. Nose it for 3, and Denmark will take a 2-point lead after 7 ends.
Det er joke.
What?
Denmark 8, Scotland 6 as we head into the 8th and possibly final end.
Du bliver nødt til stadig.
Ja, men det går lidt sjovt.
Of course, if Scotland will score 2 in this end, we'll see an extra.
Du bliver
Han
nødt
har
til.
jo 6 sten i spil.
Ja, præcis. Han har jo allerede en derinde. Du bliver nødt til at prøve at få hans ud en af gangen, ikke?
Ja.
På et tidspunkt er det selvfølgelig dobbelt.
Ja, men jeg tror, vi skal passe på med at spille for defensivt. Jeg tror, vi skal ligge godt.
So, last end of this very exciting game.
Men helst ikke kort, vel?
Denmark 2 points up on Scotland. Scotland with hammer. Denmark, we see Oliver de Bont throwing the first and fifth stone.
Yep. Yep. Rigtig god retning. Plads. Plads. Vold. Kontakt. Yep. Den falder over.
Again, really good line. And a very nice shot there by Oliver.
Seem to have over curled just by a fraction every time though, so I think maybe you take a couple of inches of more ice to make it absolutely perfect.
Yeah, you don't need to be tight to the guard on this ice.
No. So Lee McClary following this stone down.
It's okay. Just line. Just a line. Just line.
Line's good.
Just
Take a
line.
wee bit for line. Yep. Take a wee bit.
Looking pretty good. That's a perfect shot by Lee. So another nice start to this end.
Den her ned mod.
Ja.
Så den skal helst derned.
Yes, we have seen some really good setup play both by Denmark and Scotland.
Super. Yep.
Den er
Hjem
langsom.
retning. Hjem retning.
8.
Hjem retning.
8.
Hjem. Hjem retning. Hjem.
8.
Hjem. Hjem retning. Hjem. Fortsæt. Fortsæt. Hjem. Hjem. Op med den. Hjem. Hjem. Bare for den. Bare for den. Hjem. 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 Hjem.
And Mette will catch the guard with that one.
Ja.
Spills into the rings.
Så er det smal.
And if you just move it to a wee fraction. 7, 8.
Lee calling a tap on this. Scotland do need to here in the 8th end to tie the
7,
game.
8.
3 for the win.
Close. Close. Where?
7, 8. 8.
Line's good. Nice swing. Whoa. 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 Swing. That's good. Shot Jude. Not played.
Good weight there by Judith. Not exactly the angle that they were looking for, but that is one lonely red with a bunch of yellows sitting in the forefoot right now.
Ja, og så forsvinder de to, men så ligger vi op foran.
Ja.
Altså, så det er ikke slemt.
Den der med 10,5.
Ja. Ja, det er så ryger den sgu nok ikke ud her, tror jeg.
Hvad vil du have? 9,5?
Ja, 9,5 vil jeg hellere. Bare en lille smule på indersiden. Så lukker vi også hans serien. Altså helst her.
Vil du gerne have den ud lige at have fat i den røde, så vi fjerner den anden gule?
Ja, det vil være optimalt, ikke?
Ja.
Helst have nogle af hans ud nu.
Ja.
Han får sværere og sværere ved det.
Just a nose hit here by Denmark
Altså,
would get rid
lidt
of
på venstre, så har vi stadig
2
lidt
of the
med noget
yellows
bagefter.
and would also leave themselves sitting in a favourable position.
Med
Med
9,5. I tror, den falder noget mere?
Ja, det kan godt være. Vi får lidt mere. God retning. Wow. Wow.
So Mette near guard here for Denmark
Vente. God
looking
retning.
to
Wow.
get rid of some yellow stones. And a really beautiful shot there by Denmark. Scotland still sitting one, but in a little bit of trouble because the Danish stones are in very good positions.
Just in front of that yellow. It's going to be hard to move it.
Come in and sit on top of it.
That double's hard, like, and then all you do is leave them a double to lift the both off.
What about sitting there?
Well, that's not any good either because you just blast it in the nose, that goes, and all three yellows go as well. You better go on this side actually. Over there. I know
But then he just does that.
Right, watch it,
Yeah, no, it's okay, we've got plenty.
I know, but I might have to. Maybe better just trying to.
Come off that and sit there? I don't know.
I have to sort of over there.
It's tricky, eh? Let's come in and sit here.
I think that's a shot, to be honest with you. Yeah. I know they might play that, but.
Have to be right in on it, eh?
Yeah, okay, try that.
Yeah.
Okay.
This way? It's probably easier.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's a good call by
You know
Scotland.
what, even if you
Just
swing enough,
come
you
to
tap
the inside of
back
that
there,
red.
That's quite good.
Yeah.
If it swings enough, you might get enough swing. You pass that red just tap that back to there and sit
Don't
there.
want to really be playing hits now.
Play that way.
You need to score 2 for an
That's
extra.
good.
Am I going for the...
Well, if you just, I actually quite like tapping that back, even if it's back to the forefoot.
It's all about
I think we're better
finding
just going
places
for
where
No.
you get to keep your own
Seriously, I
stones
think
in
you better
play,
get us back
the...
here.
Okay. Just 8.
so that by the end you
Think
can
so.
make them useful.
So, slightly change their call. I'm looking for a tap back instead. Got to be careful not
Even
to
if you
just
hit-
tap
even
it
if you
back
touch
onto
that
the yellow.
nose, just move that back
Yeah.
and sit there, that's okay.
Okay.
Don't want to
Split
line
that.
up any sort of double for Denmark. So preferably like to be on the inside of the red, but not too much either. Can't really afford to roll out in the open on the right hand side of the sheet.
Close, close. Yep. Hard. Quick.
I think maybe just a bit light on weight here, Judith. Looking for a back ring weight. Just going to crash on the guard.
I just think you had to get it to the back to give yourself a chance. Corner frees it there. He was going to hit the red. You had to try and bump it back. I think.
Her.
Ja. Så skal han drage rundt herover.
Skal han drage rundt?
Ja.
Hvis han
Hvis de
kommer
så
ind,
laver
han kan komme ind og ligge her, ikke?
Jo. Men hvis de så laver den nu, hvad gør vi så?
So lots of excitement here.
Det er rigtig dumt, hvis vi får lagt den op til noget skidt, ikke?
Så ligger garden her. Han har jo stadig dobbelt. Og så står han inde bag garden, ikke?
Men den er også, hvis vi kan komme ned
Hvad for
og
noget?
spille på den her, ikke?
Ja.
Og få skubbet den derover,
Præcis.
og så ligge her.
Og så har han må ikke have dobbelt på indersiden.
Nej.
Det er nummer 1.
Hvad hvis vi ligger den her?
Ja.
Skyder den på den, står den lige ned i, og vi lukker indlægget.
Ja. Så meget bag som muligt. Så alternativt, hvis den går helt rundt og skubber den lige ned.
Ja.
Og så har han endnu flere indlæg, ikke?
Ja.
Vi bliver nødt til at skubbe den der ned.
Ja. Fordi falder den skal jo nok falde derind.
Den skal nok
Hvis den
falde
falder
derind,
derind, så skubber den bare herned på.
Ja.
Hvis den ligger her, så får han jo aldrig draget ud til 2 point.
Bare T-line.
Ja. Og hvis det er, så må den stoppe der, ikke?
Jo.
Og så har han ikke indlægget.
Ja.
Så skal hun også lave perfekt den vej.
Ja.
Og så kan han ikke få en tredje ind.
Nej.
Så de kommer ikke til at vinde.
Præcis.
Right, so agreeing on the shot here, Denmark, Oliver and Meta. Looking to only tap the red back. Throws it onto the yellow.
Ja, bare 4. Det er fint. Eller T-line, ikke?
Ja.
just come around, tap that red back a foot or so.
God retning.
Don't want to be
Tryk
heavy
hans mand.
Ja, yep. Yep. Yep.
unless line is tight.
Ja.
12.
Ja, perfekt retning.
12.
Ja.
12.
Perfekt retning med det. Ja.
12.
Yep.
Oh, really got to sweep to get by.
Yep.
I know, it's going to tick off the center guard.
De gør det. De ligger bare alle vejen.
Ja.
Yeah, that guard really giving Meta some trouble on the in-turn side today. Oh, and the McFarlane parents looking a little bit worried at the moment. What are they going to do?
The parents, you mean?
What did I say?
Of the parents? What the parents going to do? Was that the question?
No, yeah, no, they were worrying about what Scotland's going to do, obviously.
Ah, okay. Because I don't think the parents
You need
can
to
do
follow
too
her.
much.
You need to follow her, Xander.
Folks. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Just hanging out there at the moment.
Whoa. 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 See it. Leave it. That's okay.
Well, still lies second and third. I believe we'll see a hit from Denmark.
I think so. If they just
Lige nu
get
kan han gå ned og tabe den røde.
one of the
kører der så
yellows
sindssygt
out,
meget,
they
så det kan
will
han
make
godt.
sure that they at least
Hvis du
have an
skyder den
extra
der lige
end.
på,
Den her lige på.
så har han ikke sejren. Så er det kun en ekstra ende, han skal lave en perfekt snitdobbelt til.
Og den dobbelt, den vil jeg skide på.
Ja, eller også skal han gå ind og tabe den der. Han kan stadig tabe den til 2.
Ja.
I think is it not enough to just play a nose hit on the yellow?
Bare sådan lidt. Hvis vi ligger den her, ikke, så giver vi ham bare ikke en nemmere dobbelt.
Det er altså helst lige på.
Helst lige på.
I wouldn't leave them sitting too, but it won't be easy for
Bare ramme halv på.
Scotland to remove the red shot stone as it is right now.
Det gør ikke noget, hvis den ruller altså helt ud halv bag garden.
Have to play the nose hit. You might see Scotland come down and tap the right one back for two. Ideally, you like to roll in front
Ja, 9, tror jeg.
of your red, but if you only make the half roll, you might set up a really easy double for Scotland.
Er du sikker på, at du spiller 9?
Ja, jeg vil bare ikke have, den tager det der sving.
Hvad?
Jeg vil bare ikke have, den tager det store sving.
Vi kan bare spille den indenfra.
Ej, udefra vil jeg godt have den. Bare spil 10 så. 10 er fint.
So Oliver choosing to play the in turn, and this is the very same spot. He came down with
10 på, alternativ lige halv.
was it in the fifth end maybe? Sixth end, sorry. And he was quite wide and caught the corner guard. It's not going to be tight on this one though. Let's see if he can make the perfect roll. Has he curled a bit too much? I think so, and taps that red back a little bit. Let me just make the tap for two slightly harder maybe.
Den burde ikke være svært.
Scotland looking at playing the double here right now.
That's easier. That's the, have to play a double.
Do you think that tap for two is definitely there?
I think that's the shot, the tap.
But again, it's so important that you feel that you can make what you're playing, and I have seen Lee struggle a little bit with the back ring hack weight
Even a bit less than
Yeah,
hat backs.
Especially in the fifth end where he
Do you want to start?
just slid by everything to get up to seal three.
have to keep away
This
a
is
little
such a harder shot though.
bit. Get it to go over there.
You're playing off the wing, rolling in towards the middle, and then you have to push this red all the way through the 8 foot.
Yeah, you're gonna need to put a lot of weight on this. Either way, it's the last shot of the 8th end, and you need to make it to be in the game. So here is just picking what you feel most comfortable with.
So, need some weight on this shot. Lee McCleary, last of the 8th, needs to score 2 to have a chance at the extra end. And has he made it? No. Just didn't play it hard enough there, Lee McCleary. And
More weight.
only picks up 1. You hear Lee McCleary saying it, need a more weight.
More weight.
So Denmark wins the game. Had that 2-point lead to go on. So 8 shots to 7 victory for Denmark. And that's a very exciting game.
Yep, there you see the scoreboard. And elsewhere in Ezurum Curling Arena, Hungary is leading Romania 6 shots to 2. Korea is catching up on Spain. The score there is now 10 shots to 7 in favour of Spain. USA leading Japan 9 to 5, and Australia. Italy, they are in a real battle. 6 shots each after 8 ends, and we are in an extra there. Our next game will be tomorrow at 2:30 local time, and I bet you it's going to be an exciting one. We've got Canada playing China, so make sure to tune in for that. From me, Sarah Carlson, and from Sander Rolvog, thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow.